Courtland Simmons with you here at the CS Racing Report with a comprehensive look at the Travers Stakes Midsummer Derby. This is the Preview and Pick Podcast, 151st edition this year, and it's with a rearranged Triple Crown. It is the major prep for the Kentucky Derby to be held at Churchill Downs in Louisville, and it's got an 8-horse field going 1.25 miles. And let's take a look at the horses coming out of the gate for this Travers Stakes. First line is coming out of post number 1. His top equibase figure is a little low at 96. He won a maiden special weight at Saratoga at 9 furlongs a few short days ago, July 29th. He's 30-1 coming out of hole number 1 with his front-running style. Number 2 is probably going to be one of the favorites, one of the top favorites underneath the top choice, who we'll talk about in a second. Country Grammar, Peter Pan Stakes winner when it was rescheduled and put on the Saratoga main track for Chad Brown. His equibase, his top figure is 98. He's 6-1. His sire is 2014 Belmont winner Tonalist, who was third in the Travers Stakes that same summer. And he's a horse that darted through on the rail, going 1 mile and 1/8 and outdueling Caracara, who's also in the field. He's very interesting. A lot of people are wondering whether he can go 1.25 miles if the inside trip was the reason why he was able to prevail. We're going to see what Country Grammar can do with his stalk and pounce style coming out of post number 2. He's 6-1. Number 3, trained by Bob Baffert, shooting for a 4th Travers, is Uncle Chuck. He's only run 2 times in his life. He was first on June the 12th. Then he was very impressive in beating Thousand Words, his stablemate, in the Los Alamitos Derby. Of course, Thousand Words went on from the Los Al to beat one of the favorites, or one of the top choices, Santa Anita Derby winner Honor AP in the Share Believe Stakes, which kind of flatters Uncle Chuck's form. He's 5-2 with that unblemished 2-2 mark. Had a very impressive work the same day TIZ the Law, the favorite, did coming into this race. And the question is he the West Coast of 2020? West Coast in 2017 for Baffert, won the Los Al and funneled into the Travers and beat Kentucky Derby winner Always Dreaming and Preakness winner Cloud Computing and dusted that field. Can Uncle Chuck be both a hybrid of West Coast and Arrogate, a horse who just bursts on the speed against horses with a little more experience to prevail in this race? He'll be coming out of number 3, post number 3 at 5-2 with a top equibase of 98. Uncle Chuck, a son of Uncle Mo, one of 2 sons of Uncle Mo in this race. Number 4 is Max Player. He's going to be one of the choices people are going to look at. Top equibase, 105. Winner of the 1 1/8 Withers, all the way back in February. And then, of course, he ran 3rd. He's a hard horse to ride, but did not incur such a problem. Not as much difficulty when running 3rd in the Belmont, the TIZ the Law. His sire is, of course, a son of AP Indy, honor code winner of the Whitney at Saratoga, as well as the Matt Mile at Belmont. He's 6-1 for trainer Linda Rice. He has that closing style. Can he pick him up and lay him down in the stretch of the Travers? Will he appreciate the added ground? Max Player coming out of hole number 4 at 6-1. Number 5 is an oddity in this race, Chivalry. Chivalry is 30-1, and he was 2nd in the Florida Derby, 3rd 10 days before the Belmont. He skipped that race to Sole Volante, who ran a nondescript 6 in that Belmont. He then came back and bombed in the Bluegrass in a race that was a complete disaster for him, hence the 30-1 odds on him on the morning line. But he has one of the highest equibase speed figures. So everyone out there, figure it out. He's got a 106 top equibase speed figure. It doesn't seem to add up after the poor effort in the Bluegrass. He's coming out of hole number 30, Chivalry, post position number 5. Number 6 is the favorite. His story has been told. Coming from the same outfit as 2003 Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner, the gutsy gelding Funny Side. TIZ the Law, trained by Barclay Tag, owned by Saratoga Stables, has a off-the-charts top equibase speed figure amongst the field at 117. He's 3 for 3, Holy Bull, Florida Derby and Belmont Stakes winner. He's not only trying to win the Travers to add to his resume and be an even stronger favorite for the Kentucky Derby to keep his Triple Crown hopes alive, but if he can win this race, he has an opportunity, should he go on to win the Derby and the Preakness, to be able to win a Grand Slam of sorts, what I call the sophomore slam, which is the Triple Crown and the Travers Stakes, which of course is a complement to American Pharoah winning what's considered to be the Grand Slam, the Triple Crown, and the Breeders' Cup Classic. Whether TIZ THE LAW accomplishes these things and then can go on to the Breeders' Cup, which is highly unlikely given the spacing and the rescheduling of the Triple Crown, still it's a feather in the cap if he can win the Travers and win these other two Triple Crown races. TIZ THE LAW, 117 is his top equibase. He is the 1-to-1 favorite coming out of post position number 6. Then you have Caracaro, second in the Peter Pan Stakes, in a battle in which he stalked the pace all the way through there and dueled the winner, Country Grammar, all the way to the line. He's 10-to-1. Equibase is 104. Won an allowance at Gulfstream Park on the 11th of the new year, January the 11th, by 7.5. He, of course, along with Uncle Chuck, is a son of Uncle Mo, trying to carry that speed 1.25 miles. And we shall see how Caracaro does coming out of post number 7. And rounding out the field is 15-to-1 South Bend, second in the Ohio Derby, coming from downtown to get the runner-up spot. Top equibase of 103. Very interesting. Is he a long shot play that you want to fill out your superfectas? Is he a horse that you may even want to take a home run swing at to try to even win the Travers if you're trying to beat the favorite TIZ THE LAW, who is obviously the overwhelming choice? With that being said, as that question is being posed, let's take a look at the picks for this race. If you want to use the Randy Moss method of who's run the fastest in the past, going on speed, on the speed figs, then you would use the 6, the 5, the 4, and the 7. That would be TIZ THE LAW, the number 5 Chivalry, which doesn't seem to make sense, the 6, the 5, the 4 Max Player, the number 7 Caracaro, with the number 8 South Bend possibly being an alternative. 6, 5, 4, 7 if you're just going with speed figures in terms of determining your top 4. As far as the picks go, I would say that if you whether you want to use that or not, in terms of looking at race superfecta scenarios, one way you could go is the 4, the 6, the 2, the 8. Max Player over TIZ THE LAW with the number 2 Country Grammar and the number 8, that would be South Bend finishing 4th, or the number 3 Uncle Chuck. The 4, the 6, the 2, the 8 with South Bend filling out the superfecta, or the 4, the 6, the 2, the 3 with Uncle Chuck finishing 4th. Another alliteration is Uncle Chuck winning this race, the number 3, the 6, the 4, the 2, and that would be Uncle Chuck, TIZ THE LAW, Max Player, and the number 2 Country Grammar. And then you could possibly go 3, 6, 4, 7 using Caracaro to fill out the superfecta. But my final pick, I like Uncle Chuck in this race a whole lot, hence he's one of my win bets. But I do think maybe TIZ THE LAW has the class to win this race, and he would beat Uncle Chuck. It would be the 6, the 3, the 4 with Max Player 3rd, the number 2 Country Grammar finishing 4th, or you can go the 6, the 3, the 4, or the 7 Caracaro, or the number 8 South Bend, or you can maybe switch those first 2 placings, or the second placing, which would be the 6, the 4 Max Player, the number 3 Uncle Chuck finishing 3rd, and the number 2 Country Grammar finishing 4th, or possibly, as I said before, the aforementioned 7 Caracaro and the number 8 South Bend. But in the end, TIZ THE LAW is my final pick for this Travers Stakes. Again, can he answer the question? Is he the real deal? Is he the superstar? In addition to the previous ones I asked about Uncle Chuck, can he be like West Coast coming out of the Los Al to win the Travers and be somewhat like Arrogate bursting on the scene? And then last question is, based on these picks, factoring that in, is the Peter Pan form. In 2019, horses like Looking at Bikinis and Endorsed came out of what was the major prep, the Curlin Stakes at Saratoga over the main course, and they didn't run so well in the Travers. The question all of you may ask yourselves, if you'd like to pose that, is how will Caracaro, the runner-up in the winter Country Grammar, do in the Travers Stakes? And that's going to be a real big question, going the extra distance, if they can benefit from the Peter Pan to the Travers. But again, TIZ THE LAW is my final pick over Uncle Chuck. I think those are your 2 best win bets, but Max Player is going to be very interesting in here. But nevertheless, we're going to cover it with the recap right here at the CS Racing Report.